The Life and Sad Ending of William Shatner. William Shatner was born on March 22, 1931, in the Notre-Dame-de-Grâce neighborhood of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, to a conservative Jewish household. His parents were Ann and Joseph Shatner, a clothing manufacturer. He has two sisters, Joy and Farla. Shatner attended two schools in Notre-Dame-de-Grâce, Willingdon Elementary School and West Hill High School, and is an alumnus of the Montreal Children's Theatre. He studied economics at the McGill University Faculty of Management in Montreal, Canada, where he graduated with a Bachelor of Commerce degree. Life is inherently not like life. Life is inherently not complete. Shatner has been married 4 times, first to Canadian actress Gloria Rand on August 12, 1956. The marriage produced 3 daughters, Leslie, Elizabeth, and Melanie. Shatner left Rand while acting in Star Trek, the original series, after which she divorced him in March 1969. Shatner's second marriage was to Marcy Lafferty, the daughter of producer Perry Lafferty, and lasted from 1973 to 1996. His third marriage was to Nerine Kidd Shatner, from 1997 until her death in 1999. On August 9, 1999, Shatner returned home around 10 p.m. to discover Nerine's body at the bottom of their backyard swimming pool. She was 40 years old. An autopsy detected alcohol and Valium in her blood, and the coroner ruled the cause of death as accidental drowning. In 2001, Shatner married Elizabeth Anderson Martin. In 2004, she co-wrote the song together on Shatner's album Has Been. Shatner filed for divorce from Elizabeth in 2019. The divorce was finalized in January 2020. With what he has gone through, do not forget to mention what he has devoted to his acting art. After graduating from McGill University in 1952, Shatner became the business manager for the Mountain Playhouse in Montreal before joining the Canadian National Repertory Theatre in Ottawa, where he trained as a classical Shakespearean actor. Shatner began performing at the Stratford Shakespeare Festival in Stratford, Ontario, beginning in 1954. He played a range of roles at the Stratford Festival in productions that included a minor role in the opening scene of a renowned and nationally televised production of Sophocles' Oedipus Rex directed by Tyrone Guthrie, Shakespeare's Henry V, and Marlowe's Tamburlaine the Great, in which Shatner made his Broadway debut in 1956. His film debut was in the Canadian film Butler's Night Off. His first feature role came in the MGM film The Brothers Karamazov with Yul Brynner, in which he starred as the youngest of the Karamazov brothers, Alexei. In December 1958, he appeared opposite Ralph Bellamy, playing Roman tax collectors in Bethlehem on the day of Jesus' birth in a vignette of a Hallmark Hall of Fame live television production entitled The Christmas Tree, directed by Kirk Browning, which featured in other vignettes such performers as Jessica Tandy, Margaret Hamilton, Bernadette Peters, Richard Thomas, Cyril Richard, and Carol Channing. Shatner had a leading role in an Alfred Hitchcock Presents third season episode titled The Glass Eye, one of his first appearances on American television. In 1959, he received good reviews when he played the role of Lomax in the Broadway production of The World of Susie Wong. In March 1959, while performing on stage in Susie Wong, Shatner was also playing Detective Archie Goodwin in what would have been television's first Nero Wolfe series, had it not been aborted by CBS after shooting a pilot and a few episodes. He appeared in a 1960 episode of The Twilight Zone, Nick of Time. He appeared twice as Wayne Gorham in NBC's Outlaws Western series with Barton McLean, and then in another Alfred Hitchcock Presents fifth season episode titled Mother, May I Go Out to Swim? In 1961, he starred in the Broadway play A Shot in the Dark with Julie Harris and directed by Harold Clurman. Walter Matthau and Gene Saks were also featured in this play. Shatner was featured in 2 episodes of the NBC television series Thriller and the film The Explosive Generation. Guthrie had called the young Shatner the Stratford Festival's most promising actor, and he was seen as a peer to contemporaries like Steve McQueen, Paul Newman, and Robert Redford. Shatner was not as successful as the others, but during the 1960s he became a working actor who showed up on time, knew his lines, worked cheap, and always answered his phone. His motto was work equals work. However, Shatner's willingness to take any role, no matter how forgettable, likely hurt his career. He took the lead role in Roger Corman's movie The Intruder and received very good reviews for his significant role in the Stanley Kramer film Judgment at Nuremberg. He starred in an episode of the science fiction anthology series The Twilight Zone, titled Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. In the 1963-1964 season, he appeared in an episode of the ABC series Channing. In 1963, he starred in the family theater production called The Soldier and received credits in other programs of the Psalms series. That same year, he guest-starred in Route 66, in the episode Build Your Houses with Their Backs to the Sea. In 1964, Shatner guest-starred in Season 2, Episode 2 of the ABC sci-fi anthology series The Outer Limits. Also that year, he appeared in an episode of the CBS drama The Reporter and co-starred with Lawrence Harvey, Claire Bloom, Newman, and Edward G. Robinson in the Western feature film The Outrage. 1964 also saw Shatner cast in an episode of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. that also featured Leonard Nimoy, with whom Shatner would soon be paired in Star Trek. In 1964 also saw him as the titular Alexander in the pilot for a proposed series called Alexander the Great alongside Adam West as Cleander. The series was not picked up and the pilot wasn't broadcast until 1968 when it was repackaged as a TV movie to capitalize on West and Shatner's later fame. Shatner had hoped that the series would be a major success, but West was apparently unsurprised by the rejection, later noting that it turned out to be one of the worst scripts I have ever read and it was one of the worst things I've ever done. In 1965, Shatner guest-starred in 12 O'Clock High as Major Kurt Brown in the segment I Am the Enemy. He also starred in the critically acclaimed drama For the People in 1965, as an assistant district attorney, co-starring with Jessica Walter. The program lasted only 13 episodes. Shatner starred in the 1966 gothic horror film Incubus, the second feature-length movie ever made with all dialogue spoken in Esperanto. He also starred in an episode of Gunsmoke in 1966 as the character Fred Bateman. He appeared as attorney-turned-counterfeiter Brett Schuyler in a 1966 episode of The Big Valley, Time to Kill. In 1967, he starred in the little-known film White Comanche starring 2 characters, Johnny Moon, a virtuous half-Comanche gunslinger, and his twin brother Noda, a bloodthirsty warlord. Shatner was cast as Captain James T. Kirk for the second pilot of Star Trek, titled Where No Man Has Gone Before. He was then contracted to play Kirk for the Star Trek series and held the role from 1966 to 1969. During its original run on NBC, the series pulled in only modest ratings and was cancelled after 3 seasons. In his role as Kirk, Shatner famously kissed actress Nichelle Nichols on November 22, 1968, in the Star Trek episode, Plato's Stepchildren. The episode is popularly cited as the first example of a kiss between a white man and a black woman on scripted television in the United States. In 1973, he returned to the role of Captain Kirk, albeit only in voice, in the animated Star Trek series. After the cancellation of Star Trek in early 1969, Shatner experienced difficulty in finding work in the early 1970s, having become somewhat typecast from his role as Kirk. With very little money and few acting prospects, Shatner lost his home and lived in a truck bed camper in the San Fernando Valley until small roles turned into higher-paying jobs. Shatner refers to this part of his life as that period, a humbling time during which he would take any odd job, including small party appearances, to support his family. Shatner again appeared in schlock films, such as Corman's Big Bad Mama and the horror film The Devil's Reign, Kingdom of the Spiders, and the TV movie The Horror at 37,000 Feet. Shatner received good reviews as the lead prosecutor in a 1971 PBS adaptation of Saul Levitt's play The Andersonville Trial. Other television appearances included a starring role in the Western-themed secret agent series Barbary Coast during 1975 and 1976. Guest roles on many 1970s series such as The $6 Million Man, Columbo, The Rookies, Kung Fu, Ironside, and Mission: Impossible. A martial arts enthusiast, Shatner studied American Kenpo karate under black belt Tom Bleecker. Shatner was an occasional celebrity guest on the $10,000 Pyramid and the $20,000 Pyramid in the 1970s, once appearing opposite Leonard Nimoy in a week-long matchup billed as Kirk vs. Spock. In a notable 1977 appearance, he gave an illegal clue at the top of the pyramid, which deprived the contestant of a big money win. He reacted strongly, throwing his chair out of the winner's circle. Other shows included The Hollywood Squares, Celebrity Bowling, Beat the Clock, Tattletales, Mike Stokey's Stump the Stars, and Match Game. Richard Dawson, during an Archive of American Television interview, mentioned that Shatner was Mark Goodson's first choice to host the Family Feud pilot in 1976, but gave the job to Dawson instead. He did a number of television commercials for Ontario-based Loblaws and British Columbia-based SuperValu supermarket chains in the 1970s and finished the Loblaws ad spots by saying, "At Loblaws, more than the price is right. But, by gosh, the price is right." He also did a number of television commercials for General Motors, endorsing the Oldsmobile brand, and Promise Margarine. Shatner has enjoyed success with a series of science fiction novels published under his name, though most are widely believed to have been written by uncredited co-writers such as William T. Quick and Ron Goulart. The first, published in 1989, was Tech War, which Shatner claims he developed initially as a screenplay during a Writers Guild strike that delayed production of Star Trek V: The Final Frontier. The series of books led to 4 Tech War television movies, in which Shatner played the role of Walter Bascom, the lead character's boss. A short-lived television series followed, airing on USA Network and Sci-Fi Channel in the United States and CTV in Canada, in which Shatner made several appearances in the Bascom role and directed some of the episodes. In 1995, a first-person shooter game named William Shatner's Tech War was released. He also played as a narrator in the 1995 American documentary film Trinity and Beyond, the atomic bomb movie directed by Peter Curran. He narrated a television miniseries shot in New Zealand, A Twist in the Tale. In the television series Third Rock from the Sun, Shatner appeared in several 1999 to 2000 episodes as the Big Giant Head, a high-ranking officer from the same alien planet as the Solomon family who becomes a womanizing party animal on Earth. The role earned Shatner an Emmy Award nomination. Shatner appeared in the movie Miss Congeniality as Stan Fields, playing the role of co-host of the Miss United States pageant alongside future Boston Legal co-star Candice Bergen. In 2003, Shatner appeared in Brad Paisley's celebrity and online music videos along with Little Jimmy Dickens, Jason Alexander, and Trista Wren. Shatner also had a supporting role in the comedy Dodgeball, a true underdog story, which starred Ben Stiller and Vince Vaughn. Shatner took the Crane role to Boston Legal, and won a Golden Globe, an Emmy in 2005, and was nominated again in 2006, 2007, 2008, and 2009 for his work. With the 2005 Emmy win, Shatner became one of the few actors to win an Emmy Award while playing the same character in 2 different series. Even rarer, Shatner and Spader each won a second consecutive Emmy while playing the same character in 2 different series. Shatner remained with the series until its end in 2008. In January 2007, Shatner launched a series of daily vlogs on his life called Shatner Vision on the livevideo.com website. In 2008, he launched his video blogs on YouTube in a project renamed the Shatner Project. Shatner has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for television work at 6901 Hollywood Boulevard. He also has a star on Canada's Walk of Fame. Shatner was the first Canadian actor to star in 3 successful television series on 3 different major networks. He also starred in the CBS sitcom My Dad Says, which is based on the Twitter feed Shit My Dad Says created by Justin Halpern. The series premiered in late 2010 and was cancelled in May 2011. Shatner is also the host of the interview show Shatner's Raw Nerve on the Biography Channel, and the Discovery Channel television series Weird or What. Also in 2011, Shatner appeared in the episode of Psych titled, In for a Penny on the USA Network as the estranged father of junior detective Juliet O'Hara. He reprised the role in an episode of the 2012 season. In 2011, Shatner starred in The Captains, a feature-length documentary which he also wrote and directed. The film follows Shatner as he interviews the other actors who have portrayed starship captains within the Star Trek franchise. Shatner's interviewees included Patrick Stewart, Avery Brooks, Kate Mulgrew, Scott Bakula, and Chris Pine. In the film, Shatner also interviews Christopher Plummer, who is an old friend and colleague from Shatner's days with the Stratford Shakespeare Festival. In February 2012, Shatner performed in a new one-man show on Broadway, called Shatner's World, We Just Live in It. After a 3-week run at the Music Box Theatre, the show toured throughout the United States. Shatner suffers from tinnitus, which he has speculated might be the result of a pyrotechnical accident on set while shooting the Star Trek episode Arena, though he did not begin to suffer symptoms until the early 1990s, about a quarter-century later. Shatner is involved in the American Tinnitus Association. His treatment for this condition involved wearing a small electronic device that generated low-level, broadband white noise that helped his brain put the tinnitus in the background, a process known as habituation.